One, we're recording.
That was the worst ever.
It really is.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Sarah.
And we are Three Trail Stitchers. So if you are joining us for the first time, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Glad we haven't annoyed you away yet. So give it time. This is a channel about cross stitch, which I forget to say most of the time, but I figure once people get like 2 minutes into it,
Sometimes
they probably figure
that out.
They
It
probably
depends on
figure
the
that
day.
out. I mean, if you're watching Flosstube, it's pretty self-explanatory, but what else do I want to say?
Is that Wiggly?
That's Wrigley.
Hi,
Making-
Wiggly.
making her debut.
We have sunshine. You can see sunshine behind Whitney. There's sunshine
Yep.
coming in my window. What a crazy world.
A
Actual
glare of my
sunshine.
glasses from the sunshine on Mom's window.
But it was like a long couple rainy weeks. It was at least like 2 full weeks of just like
Mhm.
cloudy, gross.
Yeah, just cloudy, rainy weather.
So we'll take it. It's still a little like it's not warm, but it's getting there.
It's
Nice
good.
out. I mean,
Yeah, we'll take it. Okay, so I guess we'll just jump into our stitching, unless anybody else has anything to add.
I don't think so.
No.
Gallery. Okay. All right. So who has finishes? Because I sure don't.
I have finishes. Let me start.
Yeah, you're
So
it.
I finished the Headless Woman.
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh yeah, that looks great.
Stitcher.
Looks so good.
I think there's one more that I need to stitch. And then
Of
I
that series?
finally finished. What?
Only one more of that series?
I think so.
Oh wow.
Are all 4 of those about the same size?
Yes.
You could make a wall quilt out of them.
Oh, I could. Maybe your mom would teach me
But-
how to do that.
Yes. We'll
That
make
would be
Mom
neat.
teach you.
Yes. Okay.
Shut up.
Then I
Linda.
finally finished this.
Wow.
Hi, Mom.
That looks great.
That looks
So it's-
awesome.
And I can't remember the name of the pattern. It's like the 24th of December, 1963 or something like that. So
I really
it's
like that.
done.
I like the tree in the back of the truck. Looks really
Yeah,
good.
it's cute. She's gonna take it to Cece and have them frame it.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
So yay. I did like a little happy dance when I was done with that. And then I'm gonna call this finished. This is my MI Studio Creates what I did for our stitch along. It's supposed to have a little tombstone and a cat, but the way I want to finish it, I would cut those off. So I'm calling it a finish. So I can just make like a little stuffy out of the little gnome.
Really cute. You'll have to try to leave some of that. I guess you'll see it by the spider, but some of that fabric around it when you cut it.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
the
I could,
fabric's so good.
I could leave the bats and just,
Mhm,
sort of cut it around the bats. I haven't really
mhm.
decided yet.
It
But
looks
You
even
can
really
if
good.
I'm
always
well
do the
stitched.
cat and tombstone on its own little piece
Oh, that's true.
and make a
Like,
little
put it
stuffy
next
and
to
set
it.
next to it.
That's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
I'm smart.
So you are smart.
I know.
Those are my finishes and
Ah.
semi-finished.
Those are awesome. I have a finish, but it's at my house and I'm at Mom's house. So I'll show it next week. It's my Easter gnome from MI Studios. I finished it.
It turned out really cute.
It did. I'm really happy with it.
Super
Yeah,
cute.
those gnomes are so cute.
I
And
see
they're pretty
some
good.
gnomes
They're
in
pretty
here.
good stitch. I mean,
Yeah.
they're pretty quick stitch.
All right, so I have no finishes because life and I'm deep into stitch along life. So we'll start with whips. I only have 2 whips. I had talked earlier about how my elbow was bothering me and it kind of hit a breaking point last weekend. And so I did not stitch a ton this week. I have been dealing with that. So, but I did get some done on my Christmas wreath, Sal.
I can't wait to see that finish. It's gonna be
I know.
so
I'm
cute.
excited.
Basically what I did was the green around here, because these lights were already done, this big package here with the bow and the dots, this green here, and then 2 lights. And then I went up and did the star. So the star is basically the top of where this part ends. And so there's a bunch
Oh,
of
okay.
green that comes, there's a little bit of green that comes down here and then a bunch of green that comes down here. So, I mean, if I would just power through, I could finish it probably in like a day, but I don't know. I just was kind of like, you know how you just aren't in the mood to stitch something sometimes?
When does the next piece come out?
Not till the 25th.
So you have time.
Yeah. And if I get behind, I get behind. I think you just put like pressure on yourself to,
Yeah.
Right.
well, I mean, because I have 9,000 stitch alongs. So when you get
It's the year of the stitch alongs.
So because of what I want to do in April, I sat it aside and I cheated because we're going to do this all the whips April. I cheated and started something new, so it would be a whip.
That's what I'm doing today. I'm starting 2 new things, so there'll be whips.
And so this has been kitted up like forever, but this is the Witchy Stitcher Michael Myers.
I can't wait to see that.
It's called Death Has Come to Your Little Town. And so I chose to do it on this Be Stitch Me Autumn fabric.
Ooh.
And it's a 16, but I think because it probably shrunk in the dyeing process, like he's tiny. Like here's
Yeah.
my finger and
Yeah.
here's Michael Myers. So I got
He's not
him
so
done.
scary that tiny.
No,
Right?
you
You just step on him.
You imagine tiny Michael Myers coming at you.
Like that episode of Buffy where it's the
The
fear demon and they find out he's actual size and he's this big.
Hour in my presence. So I got him done pretty much. There's some gray that needs to go in his basque. This black is the doorway behind him. And then I started on the steps. So I mean, I just started that last night. I feel pretty decent about it. Will it get done? Who knows? I mean, this house, it's not a big pattern, but this house is
A lot of
When
white.
I was helping you cut the fabric, I was surprised it's not a big piece of fabric.
I know, and I feel so like uncertain because I'm like, is this big enough? But like once I saw the size of him, I'm like, I think it'll probably be fine. But so those are my only 2 whips.
I only have one whip, and I started working on my witch board again.
I love this
I
one.
love that.
So I got the creepy little face done last night.
I love
So
it.
I'm at the halfway point for this part.
Okay.
So it's still got to go down around the bottom.
Is
but
that black a fancy floss?
it's not really black. It's kind of like a grayish brownish color.
It looks
Can't
so
remember.
good because it looks like old. It makes it look.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
It make
of
it
off
yeah,
the
it
top of
makes
my
it
head.
look aged or something.
Yeah, the colors. I mean, it's all fancy floss that I use. The colors have been amazing.
Yeah, I love that pattern. I really want.
I love this color, and you can't really see it on here, but it's called Cinder, and it's like a blackish purple. It's
Ooh.
really pretty.
Wow.
So that is my only whip right now.
Like I said, I have 2 things I'm going to start today, so I will have 2 whips. But I also dug back out.
The
And I put
what?
Couple.
She dug what?
I didn't understand what that was. I'm like,
I
what?
dug him back out. I put these stitches in.
I love his face.
I do
got
too.
so tired last night. I just like hit a wall. And after I did these stitches, because I'm using my iPad to see the pattern, and my eyes just started blurring, and I was like, nope, because I'm gonna have to rip it out if I don't stop.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot left on him. I have his legs and then his there it is. And then I'll do, oh, wait a minute. No, there he is. There's Trick. And then I'll do Treat.
Cute.
I love those.
Yeah, they're making me happy. But then and when I talk about plans, I do have 2 that are going to start today so that I have 2 whips I want to work on. That's it. That's all I got.
Create whips. All right,
That we're
so
creating
we'll move
whips.
on to haul, which I don't have a lot because we went crazy, in
Weeks ago, last week.
So
Was
I
that
did
last
get a
week?
pattern. I got a pattern off of Stash Unloading, which I need to stop. I need to unjoin the stat, which I don't buy that much from it, but it's like stuff that I probably necessarily wouldn't buy face to face, but I'm like, oh, it's only $5. I'll get that.
Yeah.
So have I ever been to Rome? No. Do I plan to go to Rome?
I
doubt
love
it.
those, the buildings though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
it's neat
Little
pattern.
House. No, and it's not. It's Country Cottage Needleworks, Afternoon in Rome. And the woman I bought it from said she stitched it and she really enjoyed stitching it. And I think it was this, and then a tiny little, there's like a, where is it? A teeny little Vespa. I don't know. I thought it would be fun. There's, then in Little House, there's patterns are so easy and fun to stitch, and
Mm-hmm.
it was cheap, and I have no will.
Why not? Yeah.
Let's face it, real talk. And then I ordered a needle minder from Rebel Stitcher Designs, who is Rebel Stitcher on Flosstube and Moon Pie Fry on Instagram. And you guys probably all know her and she sent this, first of all, she sent this sticker that says I party with Sasquatch.
I want that sticker so
That's
bad.
cool.
I would party with Sasquatch. And then here's her card. But she has a Facebook group, so I don't expect you to read that all right now. And then here's my needle minder, which is going to be kind of hard. Oh no, I guess you can see it. It says, "You have died of dysentery."
That's amazing.
Oregon Trail game was like
It's
life.
It was
Like,
life
we-
in the 80s.
Yeah, we are the perfect age for Oregon Trail because like when I was in elementary school, we got the first Macintosh computers.
Mhm.
And all we would do, I remember going to the library, they were set up, and we would do logo, which was like, basically there was a little turtle and you would tell him, I mean, we were programming, it was like, right, 90 degrees, and you would basically, all you would do.
Yeah,
is, like,
you were doing coding. You just,
Yeah.
they didn't call it coding.
the turtle would go in a square, and that's like all we did. And we were so excited about it. And then we got Oregon Trail game.
Yeah, because in fourth and fifth grade and sixth grade, we got to go play Oregon Trail.
Yes. So once you had Oregon Trail, it's like, first of all, it was a game that every game started in Independence, Missouri, which is very exciting. And then also it was life.
And there were so many
was
ways
best.
for you to die. It was
It was
awesome.
the best.
I just can't imagine, and there's so many like violent video games and stuff now, but I also, when I think about kids playing it in schools now and like dying of snake bites and dysentery, I'm like, I don't think we would play this in school now. Meanwhile, they go home.
Yeah.
They go home and play like Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
anyway, so I was very excited, and this was had to buy it, and it's nice. It's like really heavy metal, and
Yeah, I've ordered it, but I haven't gotten it yet. So
then my other
She
piece,
has some cute needle minders.
She does.
Like I go
Yeah.
crazy.
I
my
also
only other
ordered.
piece of haul we all got, and it's so if you haven't seen this, she released the spoiler thing on her group. It's Be Stitch Me's Fabric of the Month. We wait till she puts up the spoiler thing to show it, but so this is my fabric of the month. We all got it, but it might look a little different. So it's called Through the Stones, which
It's such a pretty color. Her fabrics are amazing. I want to stitch everything on her fabrics. They're so pretty.
it's like a really pretty bluish, greenish, gray.
Grayish.
I mean, it's perfect. It's like a perfect neutral, but not neutral. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
I love it.
You want me to show mine now? Like we just gonna show.
Yeah, I want to see like if yours is different. It'll probably look different because yeah, yours looks darker.
Yeah,
Mine's
mine's
more like mottled.
yeah, and it's more like bluish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think mine is more bluish too.
Are you a 14? Sarah?
I'm a 16.
Oh, okay.
Mine's
Mine-
14.
Mine is 16 as well.
So yeah, mine's 14.
That's cool. I always think it's interesting how different they are.
How different they are. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then like people's linens look completely different.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's really neat to see them all.
Oh, the only other thing I bought, I forgot, I bought it last night. I built my cookies. Thank
I'm
you,
so
Puppy.
sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna grab my thing real quick.
The mailman is parked in front of my house, like
Oh.
jamming. You can hear the radio, and that's what they're freaking out about. Like bass thumping mailman outside the window. It's fabulous. I am so sorry.
You're fine.
Is
They
he
don't
bringing
like the
you mail?
mailman anyway. Like they freak out whenever he comes to the door. Like every day they do this when the mailman comes. every day. Hold on a second.
Oh,
Sorry.
you quieted them.
Oh my
It worked.
Lord. No, they're just jerks when I'm here by myself.
Okay, so I finished I built, when my elbow was hurting and I didn't want to stitch, I built my Amelia Earhart Lego.
It's
Nice job.
Yeah, and then the cat, like legit 5 minutes after I finished it, Shirley knocked it off the table and broke it. So I had to rebuild it.
no.
Okay. I think it's because Shirley's a historian and
was
she
like,
knew that the plane crashed.
Mom.
And so she was showing her mom what happened to Amelia Earhart. She crashed.
And then
she
I
crashed.
bought, and I don't know who the designer is. Let me look. I have no artist gifts company, something. I found this pattern on Etsy because now I want to stitch.
Amelia
Anybody else?
Earhart.
iBooks constantly close down, and I bought this little pattern of her,
Oh, cute.
Cute.
and it's not that big, and so I figured I could stitch it and I could put it by it. So someday
That's a good idea.
in the year 2050. So that's all of my haul.
All right.
My haul was just the Be Stitch Me fabric. I haven't bought
Yes,
anything
you're
else.
being so good.
I know. I'm
You're
trying.
really good.
I'm trying really hard.
When we got back from Tulsa, I placed a 1, 2, 3 order.
Oh, I take that back. I did buy one other thing.
There you go.
Sorry. Hang on.
No.
Let me see if I can find it. I will never stitch it because after I bought it, I was like, nope, never mind. Hold on. So I bought, stand by. This little voodoo man.
He's so cute.
Nah.
Yeah. It is every other stitch is a color change.
Oh.
Like you should see this. Like I thought.
You don't have
My
to do
mom's
that. You
pattern
could
was
buy
bad.
some kind of variegated,
Yeah.
or you could
Yeah.
put 2 colors together to get a variegation, and you could do that.
Because I looked, I was, because I've been looking at it for like a month. Because it's a big voodoo doll. I mean, he's pretty good size. And I opened that pattern. I was like, oh my God. Like literally every other stitch is a color change through the whole entire thing, his hat and everything. And I was like, yeah, that one's going on the back burner because,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I thought I might go with one of the colors to
Yeah.
stitch him and try it that way because I can't do that. I mean, I could do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. You can do it. You don't.
Yeah, I could do it, but whew. Okay, sorry, that was the other thing I did buy.
I also ordered the Oregon Trail needle minder. I just haven't gotten it yet. And then she had a grab bag, like 5 needle minders for $10 that I've also ordered. So hopefully I'll have those next week.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's in that.
I know.
That's a good deal.
So I showed my Bestitch Me. I got that. And then, like I said, when we got home from Tulsa, I just had to spend more money. So I saw this in Tulsa, but I wasn't quite sure if I wanted it. I wanted to know if it had any open.
Sorry.
And only over one is the Hedgehog Snout. So I figure I can fudge that.
Yeah.
It's Jeanette Douglas Designs Vintage Animals.
I love that.
And if I can get the stuff together, it might, I don't know. It may just go on the back burner for a little bit. And then I bought my last 3 bird samplers, my bird in hand. So I got Christmas.
Cute.
And Halloween. I love his little
Oh, I
mouth.
love the Halloween one.
That's cute.
And Thanksgiving with that crazy little turkey.
Cute.
And then
Sarah's out of control.
I am out of control. I bought So I got this from Fat Quarter Shop and I wasn't going to buy it until they came out and said they were going to do 4. I guess there's going to be 4, 1 for each season.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So I had to get the bunny.
I think that would take forever. I mean, I think it would probably be relaxing because it's blocks of colors, but
I know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm kind of hoping. So I want to get it kitted up and kind of just have it sitting aside. And then I watched, is it Memphis Sarah?
Mhm.
Yes.
I watched her first video last week and she had some stuff from Al Forest Embroidery, which is in Russia. And there's 2 kits I want really bad, but I want the patterns. I don't want the kits because it comes with like
32 count or something.
32 count Belfast linen and I can't stitch on that. But she has a dinosaur forest sampler
yeah.
that I want really
Yes.
bad. And then she has that cat that's like almost looks like a Quaker sampler where the cat's kind of like laying over a village. I want those patterns so bad. If anyone has stitched those and you want to sell the patterns, send me a message. But I did download Hedgehog Meadow because I love me some hedgehogs.
Cute.
That's
Who's
cute.
that by?
That's Al Forest Embroidery.
Oh,
He
okay.
does have some patterns you can just download, but then other patterns you have to get with the kit. So
And she does amazing, every once in a while, amazing free stitch alongs that you can go and download.
yes,
Like that Wizard of Oz one that I've had forever that I want to stitch, which is a beautiful pattern, was free.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
she
And I
has some
think-
free ones on there.
I think the 100 owls thing is free, isn't it? Or am I wrong? She's doing a 100 owls stitch
Yeah,
along.
I don't
think it's
know.
free.
I need to get on and look.
I could be wrong.
And then the first part of Cozy Cafe came out.
Mhm.
So I'm getting it all kitted up
Cute.
and they got the needle minder back in stock.
That's so cute.
Oh yeah, I got that last week, I think.
I had to order the needle minder. I think that's it. Well, I have
I
two
will
more
admit,
patterns
I
on
have-
order from 1, 2, 3, so they should be here next week.
Yeah, I will admit I do have stuff on order. But don't we always, aren't we in a perpetual state of having stuff on order?
Well, and
I
then
mean, pretty
Carrie and
much,
I
yeah.
bought fabric yesterday to make more project bags because we
Yes.
don't have project bags already cut out sitting there waiting to be made. We needed.
We
fabric.
always need more project bags.
Well,
Well, and
maybe
here's
we'll
the
work
thing,
on
like-
that next Saturday. Maybe we can set up an assembly line next Saturday.
Yes, there we go.
The problem is like, I decide that like, well, for my Wizard of Oz stitch along, I've got to have a Wizard of Oz bag. And then for
Right.
my Universal Monsters, I've got to have a Universal Monsters bag. And then, you have to like have a specific bag for a specific project. I mean, isn't that like law?
Yes.
Yes.
All the patterns, all the
Halloween bag,
bags.
Halloween
always.
project.
It's the law. Okay. So plans. We decided, so you guys, if you've been watching us, know that every month we choose a designer to stitch and celebrate. So our first month, we've only been doing it for 3 months?
Yeah.
But our first month was Good Morning Maui. Our second month was The Witchy Stitcher. And then this month was MI or My Studio Creates, which I fell down on the job. So I still will be stitching one of her patterns, but it might be a while because in April, we are going to pause on that. And we decided we're going to do, Erin from Steel City Stitchers had shown like her pile of whips that she wants to get to. And I like jokingly in the comments was like, I think all the whips April needs to be a thing. And she's like, yes. And so, but then I was like, I don't want to joke about that. We're going to do all the whips April. Why did I say that jokingly? So there are whips that we all probably need to get back to. And so, or that we just created last night because
Or we're gonna create today.
Or today.
super cheaters.
Anytime
So-
before the 31st. Counts.
Yes.
So we are going to do in April, all the whips April, and hashtag all the whips April. What it will look like is each week I will touch a whip or a group of whips and try to make some headway. So I will go ahead and show what I'm going to work on. I won't say there's no new starts because there will be, but there's Sal's because they will be whipped. So, and that's only if I get to them. So, okay, so my 1 week will be my Michael Myers house, and I'll see how far I can get in a week. 1 week, I'm going to go back to my Judith Kirby Halloween houses because I really want to get them done for Halloween, and they've just kind of been sitting there. By the way, I love this fabric and I'd like to find it again.
Yes.
And I think it was like Autumn Blush. I gotta look at her more. I don't know.
Who was it? Who's the fabric by?
I feel like it was Weiger. We bought it though at Galleria in that room that had all the fabric a million years ago when we could Galleria. So
Yeah.
here's where I am. I have the
I
whole
love this.
first pattern because this is 2 houses together, 9 and 15 maybe. I have the whole first one done, except of course backstitch, because I'll backstitch the whole thing at the end. And so I want to move over and do the second house. So that's my second whip for all the whips April. And my hope is like I'll get back into it and I'll just keep going. It's not like I'm going to finish it in a week. So
I don't know, you stitch pretty fast.
You do.
not lately.
You stitch like a demon.
Not lately. My elbow is not allowing me to do that currently. So, and then my other whip, my third one will be, I'm going to go back to my national parks piece because I would really like to finish it. And I feel like I want to finish this before I start all those open road abode patterns that I bought.
Oh yeah.
Because they're all going to go together on a wall in like a similar theme with some of my grandpa's pictures. So that's my third one. And then my fourth week is going to be all of my sals. So I'm currently, I don't know what's wrong with me. Why do I keep doing it?
Because
Like a year ago, I was like, I don't know that I like sals because it feels like you always have something you have to do. Fast forward to today. So my Christmas wreath is one of my sals. Made to Create is another one, which I have the next part of that I need to start. I'm doing the Cozy Cafe Club, which I've not started, but it's all ready, although I think my fabric's in Sarah's backseat.
Did you get your fabric or did you just find
I'm going
another
to
piece?
use,
Oh, it is in my back seat.
I'm going to use Fiddler's Cloth just because I couldn't get the opal. I mean, I'm going to let it still come, but now it says it's shipping April 27th. So
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't
not
even
gonna
heard
wait.
about mine.
And then I stitched the border for these are the ones that I may start in April, like the only starts I would have. The Wizard of Oz that I stitched the border for. I mean, that's a whip because I already started it. But the first part of that, I believe, comes out April 10th. And then I bought, and I don't know if I have the paper. So everybody's stitching Barbara Anna, the Dreaming Girl. And I have it, but I didn't start it, and I will do it someday because I bought all the stuff. But then this week on like Wednesday, she announced that she's doing another stitch along that starts April 1st, and she released the first thing. And all we have is this like swirly image. And I saw this swirly image on her Instagram, and I was like, that looks like Frida Kahlo to me. And I love Frida Kahlo and I can't resist. And so I bought it. And it is Frida. It's called Dreaming Frida. I think it's going to be 3 parts. My cats are fighting.
At least
So
they're
that
quiet.
yeah. I know they're fighting over who gets this spot of sun by the door. I think that Shirley will win. Anyway, so I'm going to start that. I had to order, she did it on Vintage Country Mocha, which I've never used, and I'm sure I could use whatever I have, but I decided to go ahead and order that fabric, and I have all the floss. So those are my projects. So there'll be 1 week of sals, and I won't get all of those stitch along parts done in 1 week, but at least I can work on them and not get super far behind.
Right.
So those are my plans for all the whips April. So until April 1st, I will most likely either go back and work on some of my sals, or because there's only a few days, or I will keep working on the Michael Myers thing.
I didn't pull all my whips, but I'm going to keep working on my witch board. And then I dug out the Fright Night stitch along from Back Quarter Shop that they started last year. I dug that out, and I am probably going to start the Cozy Cafe sal today. So those will probably be things I work on. I was digging through all like my whips because I have a ton, but like none of them were like speaking to me.
Yeah.
So
I think the
I'm
Fright
gonna
Night
pull
one would be
another one out,
fun to
but-
finish.
yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the plans that I have to work on with wise. I have one more pattern that I wanted to start before so I could make it a whip, but I had to order fabric. So
Oh, yeah.
depends. If the fabric gets here like Monday, I may still start it.
You can grandfather it in.
Right. Yeah. Like it sort of counts because the fabric's ordered, but
Yeah. I mean, we make up the rules anyway for our own.
it's true. It's true.
We make it up as we go along. I am going to start the Cozy Cafe today.
Mhm.
And then I will have my Lindy stitches because the last part of that comes
Oh.
out next week.
Triple thought.
So I'll work on, I mean, that doesn't take me very long because it goes really fast. And then I probably will pull out my Jim Henson and my Harry Potter, my Good Morning Maui ones that I've already started. But then also before April, I'm going to start my Huckleberry Farm.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna start it on that piece of fabric we just got.
Hmm.
Ooh,
The
that'd be pretty.
Stitch Me, what was it called? Through the Stone?
Through the stones.
Yeah. So those are my plans right now.
Yeah, I mean, it could change, but like when I was thinking about my whips, those are the ones that like immediately came to mind was I would like to finish the national park. I'd like to finish my Halloween house. I was gonna pull back out Little
I'll
Alien
also
Schoolgirl, which I've not done a ton on, but I don't know. I think I just have to be in the right mood and I want to finish these other things first. So
Right.
I'm also gonna work on Trick or Treat because I'd like to get both of those done. So they're on my list for April too, so.
So if you would like to join us, this does not mean, I would say that like our My Studio Create TTS, My Studio Create Sal or Maui or Witchy Sal, those totally fall into all the whips April if you want to join us. And then in May, we will go back to choosing a designer. We just figured this way we're tackling some of those things that we have put
Catching
aside.
up a little bit. Yeah.
And it kind of clears the table for like, all bets are off in May. If I want to start things, I'll start things. You know what I mean? Or at least I'll be closer. Like if in May during Mania, if I decide like I want to finish, because that's what I did last year is I set like 3 goals of things I wanted to finish. And so
Are those the rules for Mania? Like
no,
finish
I
things
think
or just
everybody does their own thing. And I feel like originally it was like you start one new thing a day, which I can't imagine.
Oh,
and I
Lord,
could not
no.
do, but a lot of people do it and do it successfully. Connie from Count Twice, Stitch Once, she has done that for Mania a lot. And I mean, of course she finishes this. I mean, she's just a stitching machine. So she'll
Mhm.
finish it. She'll do lots of ornaments and that kind of stuff. But I can't imagine doing like 31 starts. or
yeah, no.
30. How many days
I
am
can't imagine the stress level I would have or the anxiety level I would have if I did something like that.
or what my like nest would look like.
Oh Lord, yeah, I don't even
It already
know.
was a mess yesterday. And Sarah was
Yeah.
like, you need to clean this up.
Well, we cleaned it up.
Yeah, because there were like just
We got
project bags,
everything
'cause
in your new Mickey Mouse bag, so.
I've kitted up like a ton of things lately because it's nice to have stuff ready to go.
Yeah.
You suddenly want to start something. So that's our plan. So if you want to join us, feel free to. Everybody else has other things they're doing. I know some people are doing like Barbara Anna April because it's all about Barbara Anna lately because she releases patterns like nobody's business.
Is she the one that who did the mermaid? Is that her or is that Autumn Lane?
Are you talking about the Dark Queen of the Sea?
Yeah, is that Autumn
That's
Lane?
Autumn Lane Stitchery.
Okay.
Yeah, which I also love, but I never started it.
I want to do it. Like the more I see people do it, I'm like, oh, I want to buy it. and
It's
do it.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Lollipop Stitches, like hers is amazing. And like the choices
Yes.
she's made for it and like the skulls and it's just unbelievable. So
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
so if you want to join us, it's just hashtag all the whips April and we'll be sharing ours throughout our adventure. If suddenly you see us all posting new starts, feel free to call us out or just ignore it. There's nothing to see here.
Call us out.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. I'm like, ladies, I thought it was all the whips April. Yeah. It suddenly turned into all the starts, April. So feel free to join us. So we're hoping we'll make some progress on, I know Whitney will, because she's been stitching like crazy.
Phases where it's like I just stitch and it seems like I stitch really fast, and then there are times where it's like I feel like I work on something for 8 hours and get like 20 stitches done.
Yeah, I think like weekends where I'm home the whole time, or like I got a lot done over spring break, but I don't know, because April, I mean, we're in the last stretch, so we don't even get Good Friday off, so
Yeah, we
I
don't either.
do.
any like relaxy stitchy days other than weekends. So anywho, I did want to say before we move on to like media corner that there's been a thing going around that's I don't remember what it's called. It's like under 1,000 sub club. So people are shouting out groups that are Flosstubes that have less than 1,000 subscribers, which boy, we do. We do not have 1,000 subscribers. And so a couple people have mentioned us, and I'm sure I've missed them. Connie mentioned us again on Count Twice, Stitch Once. Aaron on Steel City Stitchers mentioned us because of the My Studio Create Sal. And I feel like somebody else mentioned us and I can't remember who it was. So I'm sorry if I forgot. But there are so many great Flosstubers out there that don't have 1,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? It's like, there's so many. So I just, sometimes when I'm on that main page of YouTube and I see something new, I'll just click on it and watch it. And I mean, not everything is for everyone, believe me. I'm sure we are not for everyone.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what you mean.
What a surprise. But but there is a Flosstuber for everyone is what I'm trying to say. So go check out people, they're amazing. And thank you to anyone who's been watching us and commenting on us. And it's just nice to talk to you guys, either through YouTube comments, because sometimes I do forget to answer those, or through Instagram. I talk to people through there all the time. And yeah, so it was nice to be shouted out and supported by all of you amazing people. Okay, so that's probably it for us for stitching, but we're going to move on to we always say it's quick, but then we end up rambling. Media corner, which is what we're watching, reading, or listening to. Threw me for a minute, I had to think. So if you want to listen to that, hang on. If not, we'll see you next time. Feel free to subscribe or like or all those things, or just come back.
I promise the dogs don't bark every episode.
No, usually if you're new here, if it's not the dogs barking, it's my cat jumping up and clawing my back, trying to climb to the back of my chair. Yeah. I mean, we're always weird, but
right. Yes.
We're not usually weird and loud. So.
Yeah, definitely loud today.
Okay, so media corner. So I'll go ahead and go. Last weekend I don't know if I had watched the second season of Fortitude, so I'm caught up on that other than the third season, which I can't find anywhere, which is annoying.
That's
really
frustrating.
Good. I recommend it. It was good to watch. I watched, I think it's on BritBox, the Pembrokeshire Murders or Pembrokeshire Murders. I'm going to say it's Pembrokeshire, but let me know if I'm wrong. Which has Luke Evans in it, who played Gaston in the live action Beauty and the Beast. And I really like him in other things as well.
Yes.
But it is based on, it's just 3 parts. It's based on a true story of a killer that was caught in, I believe, Wales. I want to say in the 90s or early 2000s. And it's just, he's the detective that's in trying to capture the guy. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. And then I didn't really watch a ton this week. I watched Flosstubes. I watched like some people I hadn't watched, like Joy-Filled Stitcher, Sprinklestein Stitches. I watched the Lodge Guys, the Disney vloggers, or just daily vloggers that I watch. I watched quite a bit of, I caught up with people like Amy Loves Toads and Lollipop Stitches and stuff like that. Count Twice, Stitch Once. Which I do want to say to Melina from Count Twice, Stitch Once that she lost her dog this week. And I'm really sorry for you. I know how awful it is. We all know how awful it is.
Yes,
to lose a pet. And so we're definitely thinking of you. And then I started last night because I could not find anything at all to watch. Started watching The Handmaid's Tale, which I've never.
The Meg was on last night. You couldn't watch the Meg?
No, I should have. I love the Meg, actually. It's
I do
terribly.
too.
I mean, it's no
was-
Sharknado, but you know, it's okay.
true, but
It was like one that we went and because Whitney and I went and saw it in the movies, and we were like, we're sure it was going to be bad, and then we're like, that was actually pretty good.
yeah, it was actually, I watched it.
I mean, that's not unusual because we like most things. So I started The Handmaid's Tale, which I've never watched. Of course, I've seen the old movie and I've read the book, but and I didn't think I would get into it, but I watched 3 episodes and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll watch this. I'm only 4 years behind the curve. No big deal. So
It's all right.
That's okay.
And as far as listening to, I caught up with The Opportunist. I started a new podcast called The Doodler, which is about it's like we're all about true crime. It sounds like that's all we do, but that's
All we do.
a murderer who was in San Francisco in the 70s, and they covered him, I think, on My Favorite Murder once, and he kind of got lost in the shuffle because it was the same time that Zodiac was out there and all that kind of stuff. But I've only listened to, there's been 3 episodes so far and I've listened to all of them, but it's really good.
What's it called?
The Doodler,
Okay.
Doodler.
Oh, I'm searching in my library and search. Okay, go ahead.
And I think that's about it. And then for reading, I finished, I can never remember of it, a Court of Thrones and Crowns and Thorns, or Court of
Roses or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I finished the first book in that series, which I think back when I first said I was watching it, I'm like, it's a young adult series. Hey guys, it's not a young adult series. So it's not a young adult series. I got into it and it's like, there's some, romancy, sexy business. And I was like, I don't think this is for young adults. It's been a long time since I've read a young adult book, but this is okay. So, but it was really good. I liked it. And I have bought the rest of the series, so I will read them at some point. And then I picked up a book called The Thursday Murder Club, which one of the guys on the Lodge Guys was reading. And it's a mystery that takes place in England at a like a retirement community. And it's like
Ooh.
these retirees who, like, one of them was a retired police officer and stuff, and they kind of come together to solve this. So it's kind of funny, but at the same time, a mystery. So
That sounds good.
that's all my media stuff.
My media stuff is pretty boring because I haven't been reading or listening to anything. We've been watching a lot of Ancient Aliens around here lately. Not sure what that business is all about, but Kurt has been home a lot more. So when he's home, it's all like Ancient Aliens or how the world was formed or all these.
I mean, don't those go together? Didn't the Ancient Aliens form the world?
I mean, it's nuts what's on TV when he's home. So we've been watching a lot of that. I'm still watching the originals. And the other day I did watch, I think it was the Travel Channel did it. It was a series that Robert Englund hosted called True Terror.
Yeah, I remember when he was going to do that, but I never watched
it was like they had a little marathon on the other day. I watched it. It was pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure it was the Travel Channel that did it. But that's pretty much it. I watched the Meg last night.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Meg.
Because it was on
Jason.
TV. So that's pretty much it. I usually, like, when he's home and I'm stitching, it's whatever he's watching, because I don't pay attention to the TV that much. So yeah, a lot of Ancient Aliens and a show called the Unexplained, which I think William Shatner hosts.
Oh.
It's not a bad show. Like, I don't mind it. That's on the History Channel. So that's pretty much it. It was not very exciting.
I haven't really been reading. I watched the 3rd season of Mr. Mercedes. Was really good. I think I may have said that last week. There needs to be a 4th season. And then I started, I think you talked about it, Carrie. Tell Me Your Secrets.
Yeah, it was good.
On Amazon Prime. I need to finish it. I'll probably finish it this afternoon when I get home. And then I'm caught up on The Opportunist, and I started listening to the podcast we started on the way to Tulsa down the hill.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
I
like
forgot
on
about that.
episode 3, I think, of that. And then I just downloaded the Doodler. So apparently I'll be listening to that.
I mean, it sounds like a silly name, but it's not silly because he was, yeah. And they never caught him. So, so the last thing I will say is this week, I mean, the last couple of weeks have been rough for various reasons in our country and in the world, but this week on a personal note was very sad, especially the last day of the week, because we lost Beverly Cleary, who was 104 years old, and we lost Larry McMurtry, who I believe was 89. Larry McMurtry wrote The Last Picture Show, Lonesome Dove. When I was young, my mom and I watched the Lonesome Dove miniseries, which is still one of my favorite television events of all time, and I will watch it periodically. It's just amazing if you have never seen it. Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones, all kinds of amazing people. And so I decided at that point that I was going to read the books. And so what I went back and read, there are 2 prequels to Lonesome Dove, and then Lonesome Dove, and then a sequel. And I read all of those over time. But those were the only, I think there was another McMurtry novel I read, but he was a pretty incredible guy. If you don't know a lot about him, he turned his small town into basically a giant bookstore, and I always wanted to go to, then I never made it to. Just an incredible guy. And so that's a loss. I mean, it's not like they did not live long lives, but it's still a big loss for the literary world for like book nerds like myself. So, but Beverly Cleary, I get she was 104 years old, but that's a tough one because I grew up with Ramona Quimby. She was from Yamhill, Oregon, which my grandmother was from Estacada, Oregon, which is about an hour away from Yamhill. She was about the same age as my grandmother's oldest sister. And so, I don't know, it just always felt kind of a connection. Her book that meant the most to me was Dear Mr. Henshaw, which was written, it won the Newbery, I think in 84 or 85. And it's about a young boy whose parents are divorced. And there was not a lot of books when we were little about whose parents were divorced. And that was Sarah and I's reality. So I reread all of her books, and I mean all of them, when I wrote a paper about her for my master's degree in library science. And I highly recommend reading her autobiographies. The first one is, I think, A Girl from Yamhill, and I can't remember what the other one's called off the top of my head, but they're incredible. She was an incredible person. She was one of those children's authors. She was a children's librarian. Who would fully admit that she was not that crazy.
She didn't really like children. And there are a lot of children's authors like that.
She not that she did not like kids at all, but she had
just that wasn't her thing.
She had children of her own that of course she adored. And but when she was little, she said she remembers saying where she hated to read, and she remember saying, where are the books about kids like me? And that led her to start writing books. And looking back, I'm like, none of the realistic kids fiction that exists today, Andrew Clements, I don't know who else, Judy Blume, none of these people would be around without Beverly
Cleary.
So 104 is amazing. It's incredible. But
she really paved the road for really good realistic fiction where kids didn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
And where a family situation didn't have to always be perfect and everything was sunshine and marshmallows. She really paved the way for Ramona, realistic fiction.
And the Ramona books, real things happened. Her father lost his job and they struggled. And Dear Mr. Henshaw, he dealt with divorce. She put a mouse on a motorcycle,
Yep.
I mean, Ralph S. Mouse, still one of my most favorite characters. I always loved books where animals acted like people, and so that was just little mouse getting on that motorcycle.
Beverly Cleary was always very special to me, as she was to, I'm sure, many others from what I've seen online. I mean, Dr. Jill Biden gave a shout out to Ramona, so it means a lot to a lot of people. And so it's a loss. So if you have kids in your life that love Judy Moody or Junie B. Jones or any of those, introduce them to Ramona, because
Put a Ramona book in their hand.
yeah, let's not
Let it meet
those
the
books-
original.
let's not let those books drift away over time. So anyway, that's my little spiel about this week. So if you're a book nerd, it was a rough week. If you're a human being, it's been a rough year. So yeah. So, but hopefully things will improve. Things will be better, right? It's a new week.
Yep.
So anyway, so I hope you all have a great week. We will let you go. We'll stop rambling about random things that aren't stitching, but you know, that's what we do.
It is what we do.
Us.
Yeah.
That's who we
Yeah.
are. That's what you're here for.
Thank you so much for coming by. We really appreciate all of you. You're amazing people and amazing stitchers. And we will see you next time. Bye. See you later.
Bye.